Welcome back to WagerTalk.com ACC Conference Preview. I'm joined by Brian Leonard and Preston, the Sports Cheetah. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Guys, the ACC, exciting conference last year. You had Clemson come out of it. Florida State, after losing Winston to the NBA, or to the NBA, to the NFL, quarterback for Tampa Bay. They had a great year, and a lot of hype with those two teams. And then, to your credit, Preston, last year you called the North Carolina coming out of the blue. Excuse the pun there with the blue Tar Heels there, but they delivered. And a lot of people are high on Louisville this year, too. What do you guys think about the ACC?
It's going to be a fantastic conference to follow week to week. I'm going to follow everything, but this is definitely one of the conferences I think that will have, every single week there's going to be at least 2 or 3 matchups that are great games to watch just as a fan. Because you still have teams like Miami and Pittsburgh who are going to be really good, and I like Virginia Tech a lot this year as well. So you have quality in both divisions. Teams like Duke that have been pretty solid for the last few years are technically taking a step back, and they could still be a bowl team as well. So I'm really excited. NC State's another squad that they're not bad. I think there's going to be a lot of people use the word parity all the time in sports, but it really is a conference. I think anything can happen on any given Saturday, so it's going to be fun to follow. On an earlier video that we did, I gave out Virginia Tech in the guide as an actual play that I think has some value. They missed those 3 schools from the other division, Florida State, Clemson, and Louisville, and I like Fuente coming in and taking over. Their quarterback battle, I just actually heard this morning, there was an article that came out, and the third stringer is a freshman. The name coming to my mind is like Josh Jackson, something like that. I could be completely wrong. I hope that's close. But he's supposedly emerging as a potential guy that could just win the job from Motley and Evans, I believe, was the transfer that was supposed to take over. So there's a battle. I think there's just a freshness there from everyone involved, the players, the coaching staff, the fans, alumni. And football's back there. And I think that there's going to be some excitement from a defense that's always top 25, and they still have their defensive coordinator there again this year to kind of help that transition. And at 19-1 to win the conference, or I think it was plus 490 to win the division. That's my value play in this conference.
The head coach. I loved what he did at Memphis, and you saw what he did with the quarterback there, Paxton Lynch, and that offense could move the football. Florida State gets all of the hype because, they're bringing back the entire offense, and it's an offense that you thought would have missed a beat last year, losing Winston, but they didn't. And this is a team that, is it worth the hype, or do you think they're going to be a little bit overvalued?
I think I have them as the second best team in the country. I really like them. McGuire, quarterback, is not going to be back. He's hurt right now. But they bring back the other 10 guys. But, we talked about this off air. The freshman coming in is supposed to be dynamite. His ceiling is much higher than McGuire's was. And this is a team that had the number 1 draft this year, or the number 1 signing this year, the best in the country. And you take a look at what they've got. Their defensive backs are terrific. Offensively, they've got a Heisman Trophy possible running back. Offensive line, Florida State's going to be a really good team. And, even though they didn't have the greatest of season last year, I was impressed when you can come into the season and without your guy, quarterback, that was your team leader, everybody loved him, and you could still play as well as they did. They just told me how much depth they have on that team.
Quickly on Louisville, they showed signs at the end of last season. They really, started to put things together. There's a lot of buzz with, the sophomore quarterback down there. He showed flashes last year of being pretty special, Lamar Jackson. Do you like this Louisville team at all?
I do, but I don't think there's really any value from a gambling perspective. Their win total at 9 is pretty fair. I think they're going to win 9 games a lot of the time. So I'm staying away. The week-to-week, though, will be interesting to see because usually these teams that get overhyped, there may be some value to play against them. But Lamar Jackson is a guy where, the reason why they did do well at the end of last season is he eventually just got the starting gig. Before that, he was in and out. No one really knew who the starting quarterback was. Once he was named the starter, they were an elite team. From the get-go, I think we'll really know if Louisville is going to be that and how good Lamar Jackson will be through the air, because he set records on the ground as a freshman running the ball as a quarterback. If he can throw the ball, then it's kind of a team, I guess I'm getting at, is I'll play by ear as the week goes as the season goes week to week. And if anything early, I'll probably just play against them in spots. But for now, I'm just laying off.
And one of the angles that we always talk about too, year 3 of a coach. Now this is his second stint at Louisville, but Bobby Petrino, this will be the 3rd year since he's come back. So it's all all his recruits and everything that he wants. So we'll see what happens. Clemson, we know what they did last year. They got the best quarterback, I feel, in college football back.
Yeah.
So
A future Cleveland Brown.
Going over to the other division, Miami's a team that, gets the hype. North Carolina, as we said, had a breakout season last year. I'm not going to play homer because you saw in the last video that we did. I went against my hometown team, but I think there's a lot of upside on this Pitt Panther team this year. They're going to have a dynamite running game this year because last year they were without James Conner, who unfortunately had the battle with cancer. He's back this year, but in his absence, they found some other running backs, and they're very deep at the position, which is going to make this team not your typical ACC going up and down the field type team. They're going to be a team that is going to frustrate other teams because they're going to pound the football at you. They got a quarterback that got a year under his belt. The only thing is they got to replace the wide receiver Boyd that went to the NFL. That is the big hole on the Pitt Panthers.
Have you made a play on any future for Pitt at all then, or?
I have not, but I think they have the upside that this could be your North Carolina from last year.
And that's kind of goes to my point at the beginning. There's so many teams in this conference that really have the talent and could be that North Carolina that we saw a year ago. Pittsburgh's one of them. I think it's Virginia Tech personally, maybe. So yeah, you kind of have to do your work and see where the value lies. But yeah, I can't disagree at anything with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've got 5 teams all within 6 points of each other, so you can find some value in this division here.
All right, good stuff, guys. That's the ACC Conference Preview. And guys, don't forget, weekend all access at Wager Talk, $69. Pick your favorite capper, get all of his plays Thursday through Monday. And if you're doing it right now, guys, you've got NFL action, you've got baseball action. In a couple weeks, you'll have college football included in that as well. Every play released by that capper for the weekend, Thursday through Monday, just $69. Check it out each and every week at wagertalk.com. We'll be back with more here at Wager Talk.